signs, you know, be there for the remainder of this month, and next month I'll be United. I have a house in Tucson, Arizona, where I live today, but my cat lives in the house, so we actually bought her this nice house. Summer times, we're up in southern Colorado in Montrose, and then I travel on to Montana to Missoula to do flute work. So 3 places all year.
That's fantastic. Now tell us about the flute. Has it always been part of Native American culture?
We don't really know. I do know that little bird bone whistles and animal bone whistles like this one were used for hunting and for various kinds of activities, but this particular instrument we know nothing about. And suspiciously, it looks very much like a soprano flute pipe to a pipe organ. So I'm still researching it and getting a lot of flack from natives that this is our own instrument, but many of the things that we have came by influence, so we don't know.
So it's not a bone from one of those woolly mastodons that John was telling us about. I think I saw one of those, by the way, on the drive-in. Oh, maybe that was a semi instead. Are there any native, traditional native tunes that almost any tribe or nation would follow, or is your music all Navajo?
Navajo, Spanish word. No, there are no, let's say, in the old days there were no usual tunes or popular tunes that were transferred from one tribe to the other. But in the contemporary world, of course, as we get more romantic about our existence and the remainders of what we know about being Native people in their own homeland, then you begin to find an admixture of things from other tribes. And so there are many songs that come from many of the different tribes that people have heard. You've probably heard some of them on my recordings, and they go, oh, I know what that song is. It's a sacred song. You go, no, no, no. There are no sacred songs for the flute. They're all social, popular pieces, and, well, like Amazing Grace. You know, all of a sudden it's joined the repertoire of sacred American Indian flute music. You go, no, no, no. It's a folk song from another culture in another time that talks about something that was of importance at that time. And that's why we do it today, because we're part of American society today, and we live alongside everyone else, and this is what you do. So you're influenced all the time.
And tell us about how many different flutes you have tonight.
The ones that I'll be working with this evening in the performance, I have 6 of them. And there's one piece at the end where I'll be using 3 flutes. So I start with one, go to another tuning, and then go back to another tuning. And all the others, though, are written in such a way by Billy Williams, an arranger, for one flute, doing a melody while being supported by the orchestra. And in this case, a very good orchestra.
And you have one of those flutes is actually a double flute?
One of them is a new invention from Chief Black and Decker. It's a standard flute, and then alongside it is a drone, as they call it, and it plays just the lowest pitch on the instrument, and then you finger the 6 holes or 5 holes on the other side and play melodies while the drone is going on. And that's a peculiar thing, because even with the when the Indian people from India, the Dot Indians, brought the bagpipe to the Celtic community, then the Celts grabbed it right away and said, my God, listen to this. It's horrendous, but it's good. And so, like for my culture, part of it in northern Spain, we play bagpipes because we love that sound, but it's the drone that really makes it go well. So, yeah, I'll be using one of those this evening, too.
Now, tell us about, so that we all know what to expect when you go in the auditorium. You like to sit when you play, and you face me as if you're the concert master in the orchestra, and what are your thoughts about that?
Don't ever say that. I was talking to my wife today and I said, I don't think it's a good idea to sit in front of the concertmaster. So I have to find some other position. I started wanting to be in a symphony orchestra. I'm a brass technician. In other words, I've been schooled and trained on how to play brass instruments, the valved ones. But had an accident in the military, long story. Found the instruments and work with them today. But I don't have the ego of normal trumpet players. In other words, if you're not a trumpet player, the band is nothing. And so when I started working and doing this music, I thought it's much better for me to demonstrate that this instrument can join the orchestra too, in its own way, but work in the discipline of Western European music too. And I found that it also speaks the language, and the music is written in the language of that discipline, which comes from the piano. And I can communicate now with composer, with musicians, with instrumentalists, with conductors, and other people who are interested in how to make this instrument work with other instruments together. And so with that in mind, I thought I'd rather just be with the orchestra rather than separate. And the other is too, when I stand up there, you know, I could start getting migraines as my head swells. I don't want to do that either.
No, I'm sure not. Wait, I have to send you into the auditorium real quickly, but does anybody have a question they'd like to ask Mr. Nakai? Anything at all? No? We stunned you. Yes. Yes.
Hi, I would just like to ask you if you have worked with, had that occasion, or if you had a desire to work with a classical voice.
The question is, has he been inspired ever to work with classical voice?
I've been inquired of twice. And with the activities that I'm presently engaged in and having to sit down at the computer and my synthesizer, because my workspace is so small, just never finishing those pieces. But I'm hoping very soon. There's a group in Tucson called Desert Voices, and they would really like for me to write a new piece for voices and native chanting. I do a lot of chanting, you know, with other musicians that I work with, but I guess the most recent one would be working with Keola Beamer from Hawaii, and then Nawang Kechog, a Tibetan Lama, or priest, who works with the Dalai Lama's court, and so he will come and we'll do concerts together every once in a while. But with classical voices, not yet. I just started.
But you can leave your resume at the door.
Yeah.
Does anybody else have a question? Yes, ma'am.
You said that Navajo is a Spanish word. I'm just curious, what's the name of your culture in your native tongue?
What's the name of your culture in your native tongue?
We, after wandering out of Hawaii and ending up in Chile, wandering up the backbone of the Great Snake, we ended up in Alaska, near a place called Glen Allen, near Anchorage. We call ourselves Dene, or people. The Navajo, as the Spaniards called them, Navajo means people, and they say Dene, so the accent's on a different part of the word. So Dene means people, and then there are all different, ways. When you get down into our area, the Piegans and northern Blackfeet people of southern Alberta, then they say Kainai, Kainai. So K-A-I-N-A-A is how they say it down there.
One more question. Yes.
Bruce, is dance a part of this music anywhere?
Is dance a part of this music anywhere?
Not at the moment.
But you can leave your resume at the door.
With the singing group he was talking about, and one of Dr. DeMars's composition, I would think the singing groups at the drum would be sort of like a dance, because they're singing in unison and playing the drum.